Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
Blue
yeah,
Cross Blue Shield will no longer cover anesthesia for the full length of certain surgeries in Connecticut, New York, and Missouri. I want to say this isn't true. I want to say they backtracked on this. They were going to, and then they got a lot of backlash and came back. I think it says also let's not talk about how long it takes to induce some patients or implications if you need to stop mid procedure or wait. Just so many uncontrollable variables. I'm also pretty sure no one wants their surgeon rushing through the procedure. Well, I don't think that the surgeon's going to be concerned with he's just going to be doing his job. And if that's on you, if it hopefully he's not looking at that. I mean, why would they send the surgeon a message to be like, hey, the patient's insurance is no longer covering anesthesia? I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know what the processes are. Let me play this.
Timothy! Yeah, boss. What on earth is sevoflurane? It's a common medication for general anesthesia. Do you have any idea how expensive this is? Yeah, it costs money to keep a patient alive while a surgeon cuts into them. Well, I saw a movie once where a person was given a stick to bite down on while his leg was. Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there. We have to cover general anesthesia. Fine. But I say for how long? What? New rule. If a surgery goes over a designated amount of time, Blue Cross will stop paying for general anesthesia for the rest of the surgery. And who determines how long a surgery should last? I will. You, an insurance executive, will tell an anesthesiologist and surgeon how long a surgery should last. Come on, Jimothy. How hard could it be? Give me a surgery. I'll tell you how long it is. Okay. Kidney transplant. 30 minutes. 30 minutes? Just pop it in. Quadruple cardiac bypass. An hour. Yeah, try 6 hours. Okay, then just do a double bypass and come back later for the rest. You can't honestly expect OR staff to adhere to surgery time based on insurance coverage. We'll make it easy. When a surgery goes over time, the Price is Right loser sound effect will play in the OR. And this all sounds reasonable to you. Jimothy, if you have a better idea how we can make more than $6 billion in profit next year, I'm all ears. Okay, first of all, no company ever needs to make $6 billion. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimothy. That's all the time we have for today. Jimothy!
So it says this is a real proposal BSBC announced in November 2024. I think health insurance companies throw out the most outrageous nonsense just to see if anybody's paying attention. Well, this time we're paying attention. Public outrage has been so loud that as of December 5th, BCBS has already walked back this policy. The power of social media and public ridicule. Keep it up. See, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was pretty sure that they walked this one back. That's crazy. Like, hey, yeah, anesthesia can only last for a certain amount of time, bro. We're gonna have to charge you, man. It's taking too long for this operation. So yeah. It's really good that this conversation is happening. It's sad that the dude got killed, but it's good that this conversation is happening.
Pew every CEO, they're just going to find more. So your United Health Insurance claim got denied. Here is what you do. They call you, they tell you your claim has been denied. You say, thank you so much. I'm going to file a fair hearing trial. As soon as you say those magic 3 words, the insurance company is going to offer you an appeal, to which you are going to say, no, thank you, Joker. I don't go back to my dirty exes either, because if your judgment was good enough the first time, we wouldn't be in this position. I don't need to give you a second chance. And then you're going to go online, you're going to Google fair hearing trial in your state. And then what's going to happen is the insurance company is going to have to bring their case to the state to prove why you don't need the service. And your doctor is going to give the evidence to support why you do need the service. Then the state is going to make a fair and unbiased decision, because their job is not to care about a national health insurance company. It's to care about their constituents. And sometimes just the act of saying, I'm going to file a fair hearing trial and I will not settle for an appeal is enough to motivate the insurance company. Let's not all become fugitives. Just Google fair hearing trial and your state. We can't pew every CEO. They're just going to find more. So your United Health Insurance claim.
Well, no matter how you feel about what Luigi did, apparently there was some effectiveness to it. A bipartisan bill called the Patients Before Monopolies Act was just dropped by Elizabeth Warren and Josh Hawley. Now, these are two senators that are often butting heads, so when they team up, people listen. Plus, there's now a matching bill in the House as well. And what they're going after are the three big companies that control 80% of the PBMs, which is your pharmacy benefit managers in America. That's United Health Group, CVS Caremark, and Cigna's Express Scripts. And what this bill would do is it would force these companies to choose. Either you can manage prescription benefits or you can be a health insurance company, but you can't be both. And if it passes, it would require these companies to sell off their PBMs within 3 years. So what does this mean for you guys? Well, when an insurance company controls not only the insurance side, but also the pharmacy side, it means that they can also help dictate the cost of those medications and what medications you can actually get. Think about it this way. Imagine you lived in a town, there was only one grocery store, but that grocery store also owned the farm. They could dictate everything, but this is just on a much larger scale. And here's the thing. It seems to be gaining steam with both sides of the aisle. So whether or not it passes will still be up in the air. Make sure to call your legislators and your senator, say that you support them passing the Patients Before Monopolies Act, and let's see if we can get this done. Well, no matter how you feel about what Luigi did, apparently there was some effectiveness to it. A bipartisan bill called the Patients Before Monopolies Act was.
Well, I hope something good comes out of this, other than the conversation. The conversation is already good, but hopefully something comes out. These damn middlemen, why the hell are they there anyway? Like, somebody was saying they shouldn't even exist. Like, they shouldn't exist. Like, you know, why do we have middlemen, you know, between our doctor and our care, you know? And people want to say we have the best freaking, you know, healthcare system or outcomes or whatever, and everyone is coming here from, this is not what I want to do. Hold on, y'all. Everyone wants to come here to get their health care. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true, you know? Or maybe it's not true. And maybe it has to do with people with money, you know? What about the rest of us? What about the rich people who still have to fight their insurance companies, you know? Why would you want this system? Can we all agree that the system needs to be improved? Comments, it says, I'm still waiting on a bill to prevent insurance companies from having a say in what's deemed medically necessary. Another comment says, so shoot a CEO and a bill is drafted, floored, and voted upon in a week from the shooting. Well, let's see if it actually has anything that comes out of it. But, you know, I guess you can say, you know, they can actually do stuff when they want to do stuff. I mean, they sit on their hands all year round. Like, I don't know, the people put some kind of pressure. Maybe the people actually do have some kind of power, you know? Some pressure need to be applied. Another comment says, or, hear me out here, this one's a doozy. You just end privatization of health insurance. Boom. Another one that says, while we're at it, let's consider eyes and teeth part of our body and covered under our standard health insurance. Yeah. Why do you have to have health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance? Why is it broken up? Another way to just get us. And as much as people pay for their freaking premiums and monthly bill, and you telling me it doesn't cover? Most people don't have dental insurance. Even people with money. And I understand it's like when you're younger, why the hell would you want to have dental insurance? But then too, you know, you're going to go and get cleanings, regular visits, preventative medicine. That's what the focus should be. Excuse me. It says, so me dating my manager at McDonald's is a conflict of interest, but insurance companies owning entity in healthcare isn't. Yeah, they're all consolidating, and that's the thing that we really should be worried about. And it's gonna get to the point where literally there's nothing anyone will be able to do because they're too big and too powerful, and they cover all sectors, like got a complete monopoly. So that's where we're headed if we're not there already. Let me read this one. It says, I have a Caremark which of course forces me to go to CVS. And no matter what my doctor writes for they deny. You put in authorizations, they deny it. It's obscene. And sometimes even if you can't get it authorized, when CVS will say, we don't want to order that and I can't go anywhere else, it's a big monopoly. Yeah, so she's saying that they force her to go to CVS, and sometimes CVS maybe it's something that they don't want to get for her. And then, but if she wants to get it, then she'll have to go to another pharmacy, but she'll have to pay full price for it. She won't be able to get it covered by her insurance. It's like, that's what I mean by the monopoly and them owning each other and all of that. It's crazy. How do we let things get to this point?
Why nobody cared that the CEO of United Healthcare died? I have two stories for you. One, first story, I worked at a dental office. We had a patient that had a crown done. The insurance company paid it. Months later, the insurance sent a note to the office asking for their money back. They re-reviewed the claim and decided that there wasn't enough cracks and decay, so they would not pay for the crown. They asked for their money back. Two, I worked in the urology department and the pre-authorization department. I had to call the insurance company to get a bladder surgery approved. Patient had cancer. The agent is going through a list of questions that I have to answer. She got to a particular question and sighed. She said, the question was, do you think the patient is going to live more than 5 years? Here I am, a $12 an hour employee, talking to probably a $13 employee, deciding whether or not a patient should get a particular procedure based on whether or not they're going to live more than 5 years. That's why. That's why nobody cares. That's why.
Caption, it says, I write surgical referrals for physicians in my office to sign to get coverage by insurance. I include as much verbiage as possible with as many medical descriptors as possible and as much proof of the patient needs surgery so the surgery is covered. I write them as pathophysiologically complicated so the reviewers will give up and just approve the procedure. Comments, it says, I understand what she is saying because it happened to me. However, that doesn't make it right to murder someone. You know, the whole thing with the whole murder thing, you know, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start doing the 2024 bingo card, but because some of this is on there, but Daniel Penny, Jordan Neely, you know, that goes another person who got acquitted. I think, was that Biden who acquitted him? I think so. I think Biden acquitted Daniel Penny, the guy who killed Jordan Neely. So it's like, yeah, you know, we can agree murder is bad or whatever. Murder is wrong. Like just going and killing someone is messed up. And I can totally agree with that. No qualms to say that, you know, but it's like the same people who are saying murder is bad as a result of Brian Thompson being killed, United Healthcare CEO. I didn't hear these people saying the same thing when Jordan Neely was killed. And you know, there's a common thread there. You might be like, oh, these are two totally different situations. Well, there's a common thread. The common thread is vigilantism or vigilante justice or whatever, you know? And so people who were defending Penny is like, well, those people were in danger. He was protecting them, da-da-da-da-da. Well, Luigi Manioni or whatever, the guy who killed the CEO, you can say he was trying to protect people too. You know, it could be like, oh, well, that's a stretch. Okay, well, look, fine, that's a stretch. Where is the outrage? If you're like, murder is bad, you know, murder is wrong, murder is murder, right? So one guy was murdered, the other guy was murdered. They were both murdered. Okay? So in our society, you know, people want to act like, you know, life is a life, or, you know, life has value or whatever. But at the same time, certain people's lives tend to have more value than others. And it's a reality, okay? And I don't agree with that at all. Like, I completely disagree with that. You know, giving one person, that's what leads to a lot of the issues that we have in society, when you think that one person's life doesn't matter and another person's life does, or this person's life matters so much more than the others. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. And it's ugly. It shows that ugliness that you have inside, that part of you that you were trying to hide, but it comes out when you are angry that this Brian Thompson was murdered, but not so much when Jordan Neely is murdered. It was a murder. It was a murder. You can't say that it wasn't. You killed that guy. Let's read some more comments. It says, after I had brain cancer surgery, the insurance company denied my claim. I appealed, denied. I appealed again, declined again. I asked my surgeon to write the third appeal letter to the insurance company. He ripped them a new one. He explained firmly that under no circumstances should any brain cancer surgery be denied, as it is always a matter of life or death. Any of your reviews who I suspect are in a call center somewhere should be directed to approved brain cancer surgery automatically. What kind of an organization are you? I felt seen. Amazing doc and neuro team, and horrible insurance carrier behavior. Yeah, they just look at numbers. They don't see people. So it's like, you know, it's profit above people. It's profit above everything. POA, you know, MOA, money over everything. You know, you look at how much these CEOs get paid, obscene amounts of money. And then they're always like, oh, we got to look out for our shareholders. So it's like, bro, like, that's their excuse all the time, you know? And then the people that's out here, they're all like, well, you know, it's a company. They have to make profit. They have to look out for their shareholders or whatever. It's like, bro, you don't have no socks. Shut up. Go sit down. They looking out for each other. They looking out for their buddies. They looking out for their class. And you're not in it. If you're not one of them, then you're not in it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I understand them defending it. I don't understand you defending it. It doesn't make sense. Comment that says, but wait, aren't you Americans pro-life? Or does that only apply to embryos? Dun, dun, dun. Another comment that says, meanwhile, I go to Mexico and get a crown and a root canal for $200. The crown actually looks like the rest of my teeth. The office was cleaner than any office I've been in U.S. And during the procedure, a quality assurance medical person was coming to evaluate the staff dentist work. And yes, the dentist went to school in U.S. and worked on Miami for a year. 3 years later, my $200 crown procedure is still strong versus the $2,400 charge in U.S. We're getting price gouged and we're defending that shit. Like, no one needs to make that much money. Like, how much money is enough? That's the question I ask people. Like, how much money is enough? You know, how much money is enough for you to make in a year for you to be comfortable or happy or have all the things that you want? You know, how much is enough, man? More. How many cars can you buy? How many houses can you buy? Like, what the F? It doesn't make any sense. Another comment says, I was a pharmacy tech for 20 years, and I particularly liked working in the hood because those people have less help at home with their medication and their insurance problems. Let's just say that I came out of pocket a few times to help somebody get their prescription filled because they couldn't afford it, and it was life-saving medication. Another comment that says, healthcare system is a joke, just like our judicial system. All this stuff is on Front Street. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.